Alright guys, it's your boy User, and I'm here with my unofficial sort of review of Maximum Football 2020. Now, the game's been out for a few weeks, it's had a few patches, I'm officially ready to talk about it. I've had enough playtime with it to really speak intelligently about the game, and I want to talk about what this game is, and more importantly, what this game isn't. Also cover the good and the bad of what this game does, so let's jump right into it. The good news is this most certainly isn't fucking Madden. Now, I'm someone who was a religious Madden player from about 2000 to about 2010. And I feel like I was tricked into buying Madden 2013 and 15, which you guys can see what I did to my 2015 disc on my channel. So, the good about this game is it's very cheap. It's a $29.99 game on the PlayStation Network store and also on the Xbox One. The game is developed by Canuck Play, a Canadian indie developer of about 10 people. So going into this, I knew that. I also kind of want to talk about a little bit where this game is. So this game is in year 3, I believe, of its iteration. So the 2020 version is the third installment of this franchise. That being said, I want you all to think about that before you consider purchasing this game. EA is a company of thousands of employees with hundreds of studios with billions in assets and resources. They are backed by the NFL, ESPN, all these different branding companies. So when you're seeing their product, it is the iteration of about 20 years of progress based off of hundreds of thousands of millions of hours of development cycles. So this game is in its third year. So you have to understand that going in. Now, if you're a fan of the older NCAA games that are not created anymore, there is a Dynasty Mode in this game, which is basically the highlight of what Maximum Football 2020 does. You start a dynasty, you pick a college or a school, and you start recruiting. Your schools have different prestige levels. The recruiting is vastly in depth. I mean, it is ridiculous how much time and effort you need to spend in recruiting. You have your preseason, you play through your college season, you try to get into bowl games, your players graduate, you have to sort through the different classes, freshmen. You have to pitch to these kids that are looking to find a school. They have a few schools that, between, a few different colleges that are pitching to them, they'll choose between that. So in that sense, that's cool. For me, I'm not a huge NCAA player from back in the day, so this is a mode I haven't really spent a lot of time in, but if you're interested in looking at that, there are a lot of channels right now that are covering this kind of stuff, so go out and check some of their stuff out. Now, as someone who's aspiring to become a coach, I'm a current, possibly a former semi-pro football player, high school background. I love the X's and O's behind football, and the in-depth play creator that this game offers is another reason why I bought the game personally. I also love the logo and player, and basically you can customize every aspect of all of the teams in this game. Now, there's 130 teams, and they're all generic, sort of cookie cutter, loosely based around the areas that they're from. It's to give you the NCAA experience, but you can tell some of the logos and things are inspired by the NFL and some college teams. So I want you to keep that in mind. There are no NFL teams, there are no NCAA teams, but what you do get is a big giant sandbox full of really creative teams that have their own levels varying of defense, offense, playmakers, some really bad teams, some really stacked monsters teams, and it's fun to dive in and experiment and learn all of this stuff as you go. So let's talk about the gameplay here. So this is the toughest thing to gauge about the game. Now, if you're someone like me who likes simulation football and you're just sick of Madden's glitchy, cheating kind of bullshit, this game executes way better in that aspect, in my opinion. So as far as the gameplay goes, I would gauge this somewhere between a Madden PS1 mechanically and what Backbreaker has to offer. It has a full-on physics engine, but that being said, you can tell this game is very early in its development as far as iron out some issues with that. as far as like the player movement and catching and a lot of the mechanics behind the way the offensive line plays, it's very old gen Madden-ish, where the animations are lacking. There's a lot of weird footwork and body movement, and some things on the field happen that make you kind of question some stuff at times. But at the end of the day, the game is fun to play. You can see real football mechanics taking place behind some of the lacking animations, and I point that out in a lot of my videos that I made. So I want to say this: if you're the type of gamer that is the Call of Duty, the 2K, the Madden opening mutt coins, hype squad, monster drinking, generic teenage gamer at this point, this is a game you're not going to enjoy. There, I said it. If you're someone like me who suffered through trying to enjoy Madden, who likes to X's and O's of football, who does enjoy the customization the old Maddens had, which they removed and now they probably charge you for it, this game is actually fun. I'm actually enjoying a lot of what this game provides. Now, that being said, maybe it's time to talk about some of the bad about this game. So, as a video game product that is sold to consumers, this game is just not up to par yet to where it needs to be. There are a ton of issues that happened the first week after launch with errors. The usual things that you expect as a consumer, like clean menus and the music and just the fluidity of the controls and everything. Navigating certain aspects of the game, I found a ton of weird issues where during a timeout or something, I was substituting a player and there was no button to get out of the menu. I had to sit there for the 30-second countdown to happen. These are the kind of things that are going to turn away people from this product. From a gaming perspective on the field, the user control is vastly lacking. I still think as a receiver, when I'm trying to make catches, there just isn't enough animation for the receiver to do what I feel like he should be able to do at this point. The interceptions, I honestly can't get user picks in this game at this point. It's just too difficult. There's a lot of lacking animation on the field, and the physics engine is still raw enough to... There are times I don't feel like I'm in control of what's happening, where I should be able to make a simple tackle. I'm missing because the game just doesn't have the ability to track me and my controller movements the way that it should at this point. The season mode as well needs a major overhaul. It is too basic. The simulation of weeks takes too long. It takes a few minutes to simulate 1 week of the season. Navigating through stats and everything is very clunky as well. I'd like to see the speed of that improved. I also have an issue right now where I'm actually playing a season on my YouTube channel, and if you manually play a game of the season and then simulate the rest of the week like the other 30 games, it will re-simulate the game you already played. So I'm 2-0 and the rest of the league is 1-0. So just issues like that I found that are just holding me back from totally falling in love with this game. I'd also like to see the play calling menu change to something more like this from Backbreaker, the older Maddens, where you have the formations listed. If you click them, then it takes you into the full array of the games. I feel like offensively this is hurting me because I'm trying to find a play that I've made and I'm frantically looking through all the formations. There are too many formations that look the same without the more in-depth labeling. So just from that standpoint, I think the game could benefit just from a rehaul, possibly maybe in next year's iteration, to the play calling. And from a pre-snap perspective, the offense has the ability to audible to 4 plays. I would love to see something with the offense being able to, even at a very limited capacity, give you the ability to audible specific routes or maybe the run play from left to right. Backbreaker had the ability where you could choose which audibles you would like in your 4 plays. I don't believe this game does that. And Backbreaker also didn't offer any kind of pre-snap adjustments offensively. Defensively, if you come out in a formation, you have no choice but to play out the play. There's nothing that you can do. You can't shift line. You can't shift linebackers. You can't pick if you want to play off coverage. The defense right now, just from that standpoint, it puts you at a major disadvantage to try to counter what the offense is doing. Here you can see I'm in a 4-3, and the offense came out in a spread formation. I just had to take it. I had multiple mismatches. I didn't have enough guys to counter, but just from the game's perspective, I couldn't audible or do anything. I could have taken a timeout, but I just felt like I was just at a disadvantage completely based off of that. So I'll go ahead and wrap this video up. I guess from a consumer standpoint, I still don't feel like this game is ready for the masses to just jump in and be able to enjoy what this product is at this point. This game right now for the $29.99 entry level fee, I think it's justified in my opinion. I don't mind spending half of what Madden cost to play a game that is doing stuff that Madden's removing and can't do. I think from a simulation standpoint, buying this game, being able to simulate games, manage seasons, rosters, customize just about every aspect of the game, this is a very viable product for this group of people, and I think I'm seeing people enjoy this game. What this game is lacking from a basic video game standpoint still, again, I don't think it's recommendable. I couldn't see my friends buying this game and enjoying it at this point, but I do. I think this game's a few years away from being a major contender as far as what video game football should be, especially moving to PS5 soon. And I'm hoping that with us supporting this game, Canuck Play kind of gets the revenue and the resources to continue to improve the game. I love it at this point. It's going to continue to get better. They've proven this already in a short amount of time that they're listening to the customers. This game was made and created for people like us, and I'm really looking forward to the changes that they continue to make. If Canuck Play watches this video, take my criticism lightly. I'm enjoying the product. I'm going to continue to upload videos about it, and I'm finishing the video here with a, I don't want to give a rating. I don't think this game justifies any sort of pinpoint accurate number based off of all of the stuff I talked about in the video. This is a young development team. They're still working the kinks out of the game, and I'm very happy with what the product has provided me as far as my gameplay experience at this point. So it's your boy User here. This is my sort of kind of review of Maximum Football 2020, and look back for some more Coach User series videos, and I'll be on Discord. So if you guys want to say what's up, please hit me up in the comments or on Discord, and tune in for more.